What's going on, football fans? Now that the NFL season is at a close, we're finally, I'm going to be here to, tell you who is going to do what in the playoffs. I'm a fucking shaman of the NFL, so, I'm going to do this. So, here's my predictions. All right, first game is going to be the Browns at the Texans. I love CJ Stroud and DeMeco Ryans and what they do. They're a super exciting team to watch. The Browns are also a very exciting team to watch, especially recently. Joe Flacco, Mari Cooper, David Njoku. The only thing I don't like about the Browns is Deshaun Watson is still connected to that franchise. So I'm going to pick the team here that has maybe a little bit more experience. I'm going to pick the Browns. I think the Texans will make it a very interesting game, but I think they're just too young to really make any noise right now. So I think the Browns with their 85-year-old quarterback, Joe Flacco, and the Browns are going to win that game. All right, next is the Dolphins and the Chiefs. So first of all, I'm going to say the Dolphins in winter months are worse than the 2008 Detroit Lions. The good news is that Tua hasn't had a brain aneurysm this season yet. Yeah, I don't trust the Dolphins winning this game, but I don't really trust the Chiefs doing anything either. Mainly because the Chiefs receivers are worse than a group of fucking middle schoolers. Like, I swear to God. Like, I don't think Kadarius Toney could catch hepatitis if he was furiously in a gangbang with a bunch of meth heads. I think with the willpower of Andy Reid, I think they're going to win the game because the Dolphins they just keep tripping over their own cocks in winter months. So I think the Chiefs are going to win this game. I think the Chiefs are going to beat Tyreek Hill like Tyreek Hill beats his own kids. Next, we got the Steelers and the Bills. I can't believe the fucking Steelers are even in the playoffs right now. I swear to God, every game that they play is either an 80-0 destruction where they get blown out and they can do nothing right, or it's like a fucking 3-0 win where they still can do nothing right. I swear to God, I've never seen a team trip over their own cocks so much and yet fall upwards into success. It makes literally no fucking sense, but I guess in Steeler land, up is down, left is right. The standard is the standard, and that means regardless of what happens, Mike Tomlin must use black magic in order to conjure up a winning record for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're not going to win in the playoffs, though, and even though the Bills, again, also trip over their own cock all the time with about 25 turnovers every game, Sean McDermott will give them another speech about how well organized Al-Qaeda is, and the Bills are going to end up terrorizing their opponent. So, yep, Bills win. All right, next one is Ravens and Browns. Joe Flacco against his old team. Odell Beckham Jr. against what he likes to have on his chest. It's poopy. He likes to have poopy on his chest. Look, if this game were to actually happen, which I am praying to God Almighty it absolutely does, I think that Joe Flacco would absolutely drop his fat, steamy nuts all over the Baltimore Ravens. And I mean, come on, Ravens. OBJ he's getting a boat, and to my knowledge, Lamar Jackson has not taken a shit yet this year. So I really just can't see the Ravens winning this game. I got that feeling in the tip of my penis that tells me that the Ravens are going to be first-round exits. So I'm going to say the Browns end up winning this game because, well, why the fuck not? All right, Chiefs and Bills. I mean, I'm going to have to probably say this next part really loud because all the Chiefs receivers afterwards are going to ask me to repeat it because they didn't quite catch that. My opinion for this game is that sometimes in the playoffs, it's not who's the better team, it's who's the better team at the time. And look, a lot of people associate the Bills with all of their turnovers that they had at the start of the year, but let's face facts. They've won 5 games in a row to sneak back and win the division and are currently the hottest team in the NFL. I think the Bills this time are finally going to get over the hump and beat Kansas City. They probably will beat them in regulation and not go into overtime this time. I think Sean McDermott is going to give them another speech about how organized Osama bin Laden was, And again, they're going to terrorize their opponent. Holy fucking dicks. About 8 years ago, if you told me that this is what I legitimately would be predicting for the AFC Championship game, I would probably have said that I'm high. Which, let's not rule that out of possibility. You got Joe Flacco, and then second of all, you have Josh Allen. Both teams have very good defenses, and they're both very loaded teams. And I think it is going to come down to the competency of the quarterbacks. I think Josh Allen is obviously, I think, the better quarterback right now. He's far more talented than Joe Flacco, but he is often prone to mistakes and doing some of the dumbest fucking shit known to man. Joe Flacco, he has his limitations, unfortunately, like he probably pisses through a catheter because he's so old. But regardless, I think in this game, I just think that Josh Allen's the better quarterback. And for the third straight week in a row, I think that Sean McDermott's going to give his team a little pep talk about how organized the Taliban is, which is going to give his team a jolt, and they're going to terrorize the Cleveland Browns, and they're going to take a shit all over their fun. Bills, I think this is the year. I think it's the year you finally get over the hump. Bills, you're going to the Super Bowl. All right, next is the Eagles and the Buccaneers. And look, I think this matchup is just an absolute fucking joke. The Eagles have been completely fucking dog shit for the past 6 weeks. Remember when they started 11-1 because of a bunch of fluky wins, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, the Eagles are so fucking good. They're so fucking good." Yeah, well, fuck you, Eagles. You're a trash-ass faking team, all right? Do you want to know where I saw this trash-ass fluky fakiness? I saw it last year with the Vikings. And do you want to know what happened to the Vikings? They had an inferior team beat them and upset them in the playoffs. A team that won 9 games, which the Buccaneers have also won 9 games, come into their house and humiliate the shit out of them. And Baker Mayfield has had a very weird comeback tour this year. So I think that the Eagles are still going to win. All right, this game I'm actually really excited for. It's Jared Goff versus Matthew Stafford. The trade from a few years ago. We're finally going to see it in the playoffs. This is going to be a phenomenal matchup. I think both teams match up pretty interestingly against one another. Lions have a great run game. The Rams have a solid run game as well with Kyren Williams. The Rams also have some stacked receivers like Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, with Matt Stafford delivering the ball. The Lions have Amon-Ra St. Brown. Again, a fucking flurry of running backs as well. Both teams have very solid O-lines. But I'm going to give this one very ever so slightly to the Rams. And here's why. The Lions defense is fucking awful. Like, I don't know how Aaron Glenn hasn't been fired 3 times already. That defense is so bad. Like, there's a reason why the Lions are like the most fun team to watch in the NFL, all right? It's because both teams, both the Lions and the team they're playing, score a ton of points. Every game is super high scoring and is super fun to watch. And that's because A, the Lions offense is good, yes, but B, the Lions defense is also completely fucking dog shit. And I think that the Lions are going to lose the game because of their dog shitty, poopy, stinky, diarrhea-ass defense. And, I mean, at least the Rams have Aaron Donald on that side, so, you know, they're not complete garbage. Packers versus Cowboys. I personally hate both fucking teams, and I think this one's going to be very easy. I think that the Jordan Love-led Packers with a bunch of fucking practice squad receivers, I just don't think is going to do it for them. That and that absolute dog shit Joe Barry defense, I don't think is going to do shit. Fun fact, Green Bay Packers, Joe Barry was the defensive coordinator for the 2008 0-16 Lions, okay? Which I think, if memory serves me right, is the second worst defense in NFL history. That's your defensive coordinator. And I think that because of that, the Cowboys are going to score like 85 points, and they're going to win the game. I think the Cowboys are going to eventually choke in the playoffs, but I think the Cowboys, just with how much talent they have, they're going to win. It's going to be pretty fucking easy. All right, now we get into a good matchup here. We've got the 49ers and we've got the Eagles. Look, the 49ers, I think, are just the most loaded team in the entire NFL. And I think, once again, they're going to go on another deep playoff run. And they can't do that if they lose to the fluky-ass Eagles. So the Eagles are going to get outdone once again. Tush push my ass. The 49ers are going to give them a swift tush push to their fucking January vacations because the 49ers are going to win that game. All right, Rams at Cowboys. I think for the Rams, the buck stops here. As much as I would love to see the Rams beat the Cowboys, I just don't think they have the talent to do it. And yeah, I know the Cowboys and Mike McCarthy, they're very prone to choking all the time, but I just don't think they'll do it here. I just think they have more talent than the Rams do, I think, and I don't think we're going to see any upset here. So Cowboys are winning. All right, 49ers and Dallas Cowboys. We saw exactly what the Cowboys were earlier this season when they played the 49ers, and that it is the Cowboys are a team with a lot of talent, but they cannot game plan for superior opponents worth of shit, right? And that's exactly what the 49ers are. When the Cowboys are faced with any adversity whatsoever, when they're not on paper supposed to absolutely clobber a team, they completely fucking fall apart. And sometimes they even fall apart just for the hell of it. I think the 49ers are going to win that game pretty sure-handedly, and I think the 49ers are going to go to the Super Bowl. So fuck you, Cowboys. Niners are in. Now, if we want to take a look at my AFC side, my NFC side, I can't wait for all of those playoff predictions to be wrong within the first fucking 45 minutes of playoff games. We have the Super Bowl matchup of the Bills, who haven't been to a Super Bowl since Bill Clinton was getting blowjobs under his desk, and who have never won a Super Bowl in spite of the fact that they've gone to 4 of them in a row. And the 49ers, who also have not won a Super Bowl since Bill Clinton was getting blowjobs under his desk. They've been to one recently, but they were dog shit. Yeah, this one's tough. I think that Sean McDermott is going to run out of terrorist organizations to give his players inspirational speeches about, so I think the Bills are just going to run out of gas. And the 49ers, just being the overall superior team, I think are going to come in and I think are going to finally get over that elusive hump and win the Super Bowl. They're an extremely loaded team, and yeah, I know Kyle Shanahan's prone to being the ultimate choker of chokes, but a playoff choker is more likely to win something than a team that is just absolutely cursed. So I think the San Francisco 49ers are going to be the Super Bowl champions this year. This is what's going to happen in every playoff game. This is who's winning the Super Bowl. I didn't put scores because I don't fucking care that much, but whatever. This is it. These are my predictions.